Okay, so let's start off by covering the Overwatch 2 saving the ranked system by nerfing supports patch here. Oh, we're just skipping all this. We'll just go to the hero updates. Let's start with tank. Why in the world did we buff D.Va? Okay, like, defense matrix lasts forever. She does decent damage. She didn't need this. It wasn't needed. There was no point in this. None. The this one is nice because, like, you know, sometimes like you're trying to push a corner and then you just keep getting stunned. Again, I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal. It's nice. I think Winston needs buff mechanically, but like Bubble needs a nerf. You could like AFK on the cart and just pretty much drop Bubble and have some insane mitigation numbers. And when you dive in, you're just unpunished. I don't know why we can't like I wish Tesla Cannon maybe went even a little bit further and did a little more damage. Like, you had to charge it up, you know? I don't know why I did that. And like the Bastion one, this doesn't fix Bastion meta. The whole point of Bastion meta is to like W key the enemy team while you're in configuration assault, just to W key them and spray them down. Like it helps poke a little bit, but usually if you're poking his Bastion, you're in the recon form. You're not doing this. The best part about it is this, but again, this 2 seconds isn't going to make or break the feel of the game. It's not going to remove him being busted and the meta. Like, why are we nerfing Cass more? The problem is Cass isn't good. He didn't need this. Most of the characters are faster than the magnetic grenade that you actually want to stick the grenade to. They just, like Hamster, he just rolls away. Why this? Why did we do this? Like Maze, yeah, I wonder why she's slightly overperforming. It's the amount of damage. She needs to slow, that's her kit, but she doesn't need 100 DPS. She has 100 DPS for no reason. We didn't need this. Who thought this was a good idea? It's not. Then why are we buffing Sombra more? If you actually calculate the damage, it is Bastion level DPS. If you throw in a few headshots within her damage range, it is Bastion level DPS with the virus on you. Why do we need this more often? Like, I know people said like Sombra's not busted, and you're correct, but issue is her damage is so ungodly now. You can't contain her in like a 1v1. She's just gonna beam you if she hits her abilities. Like there's nothing you can do. You can't outflick insta kill. There's no out flicking insta kill. There's none of that. Like the Symmetra, I mean, base shield reduced from 125 to 100. This is great and all. Like, it just makes more characters back to 200 HP. But like, considering how the tanks are going, and like I play her into D.Va to be the front line against a D.Va, I don't think it was really a good change. She was one of the only characters in the game that could deal with D.Va besides like Zarya, that most people don't want to swap to. Just made her harder to tank with. Like, ooh, yay, max spread. It's like the gun doesn't do any damage to begin with. Ooh, I don't know why we did this. I mean, this is fine. It's still a bad ult. It's still, Hanzo still has the better ability. So it's just this, but better. You just have to place it instead of seeing where everybody is. Like, let's get to the support part. The supports, these changes punish people for using their abilities in an ability-based game where abilities are supposed to be almost spammed. Like, all the fights are supposed to be about ability usages, like dash, nano, immortality field, bursts, pylons, turrets. But we're increasing cooldowns instead of nerfing what the abilities actually are. I don't know why we decided to do this. Instead of actually solving the problem, which was the numbers of the abilities. So like Biotic Grenade healing as much as it does, or Immortality Field lasting as long as it does, you know, those kinds of things. No, we're just gonna nerf how long they take to come back. And even then, 2 seconds is not usually going to make or break a fight. With the amount of uncoordination that there is in the average ranked lobby now, 2 seconds is not going to make or break you. Just know when to use your abilities correctly to begin with. Who cares? Like this, like a BAT health decreased. Most BAT players, if you're using it well, are placing it behind the wall and then using the edge of it. The only thing that this is good for is like Zarya's, like Graviton Surge. Just instead of just yeeting it in there and like it lasting long enough, it might sometimes get busted. It's not a good change. I don't know why they decided to do this, but they did. And it's not good. None of these changes are enough to fix supports being busted. They didn't change any values of damage. They didn't change any values of really healing. None of that. Only change I like out of this entire patch is this one. This needed to happen. This good job. Bravo. You know, bravo. You know, claps all around. This was a good change. You know, like solar rifle, it was way too big. It was way too punishing, way too easy to hit. It increased the speed that you got to get your ult charge. You know, it was a lot of problems with the damage being way too easy to hit. It was like point and click Hanzo arrow. God, that's gone. Like, yeah. Again, healing pond. Most places on maps, you put it out of sight. What is this changing? Great, another 3-second delay, so we can't have cool abilities in the game. Wonderful. Instead of tweaking the ability, making it a little bit more usable, it's just up to 15 seconds now. Same thing with Suzu. Suzu itself is busted. 1 second change is not enough. Like, it's good, it's in the right direction, but problem is the 2-tap. Just a dink dink, you died. Why? Like, Suzu's also a problem, but like, hello, the damage, the supports being a T-He DPS all of a sudden? What's that? Tune down the healing so supports don't have to do crazy damage to try and take down these god tier tanks because they don't die because there's so much healing in the game. And like Lifeweaver, these changes are okay. Problem is the tree. This is a little bit of a problem. 3 seconds is, I don't know. The Life Rip wasn't that big of a deal. Like, it's a problem. It's just another immortality and then a reposition and like a saving grace thing. But like, the tree is the biggest thing. Like, tree just, you can't one-shot people with Widow during tree. Tree just out heals like all damage in the game. Like, I shot somebody with Bastion up close and tracked him pretty well, and they just lived through it because tree T. Like, poor Zen. Like, he did, like, okay, like I get the 225, I guess. Like, you can't reapply to the same target 7 seconds after the effect has been removed. So like, when he gets dove, and then like they recall, let's play Tracer here, they recall, then he's way more defenseless. Like, he got 25 more HP, he can throw it a little further. Like, I think he needed this, honestly, after this was tweaked down. But I don't know why this all had to happen. I don't know why this had to happen or this had to happen. He was vulnerable, but he had the kick. He didn't need this. This needs to be worked a little bit, but 7 seconds, that is a long time to be vulnerable and not be able to throw that on a target. A very long time. And then we don't care about the hero custom controls, but overall, right now, for this being the saving grace of tweaking supports down, I've seen, like, somebody told me about like flash reactions and other people's, like, it's a step in the right direction, but it's not a fix. It is not a fix yet. We're getting closer, but the biggest thing that needs to come down is the numbers themselves, not the cooldown. Not the cooldown by like 1 second on one of the most busted abilities in the game. TP in, yeet this thing, you save somebody. Like, this itself needs to be reworked, either to probably a cleanse itself. I don't know, the immortality thing is just going crazy. We have how many immortalities? Just that they're tweaking on is 1, 2, 3. 3 basically immortalities on a fairly short cooldown. Not to mention how much Baptiste left shift still heals when somebody's low. It's crazy. I don't know what they're doing with that part. Like, there's so much healing in the game that these tanks, and they stack armor on top of their health bars now. It's so hard to even tell like when to dive them correctly, because then they just get pulled right back up. Or like, you get somebody low, yoink. Somebody low, Suzu. Can't even dive them well because there's too many immortalities. So it's kind of like a weird pokey, sometimes brawl combo. Like, another problem right now is Sigma. I don't see a single Sigma change here, yet he's completely dominating the scene because he counters almost everything. He's got an answer for everything. He's got an answer for lasers. He's got a shield. He's got answers for bullets like Bastion. He's got an E. He has everything. And then if somebody wants to come forward like a Doomfist, like, although I'm not a big fan of Doomfist being a tank, Doomfist walks forward, and like, even if he jumps over the Sigma, right? Sigma can throw a shield and block off his healing, walk off the damage, even just long enough to turn around, rock him, team burns him, he jumped into the blender and he's gone. And the other team's left without a tank. And a lot of these Doomfist players don't want to swap. And like, it's kind of fair to them. Like, they want to play the character they enjoy playing, but you have to fix stuff like that to continue to play the game. This is like unplayable for a Doomfist into a Sigma. Like, a good Sigma will just tell this guy, you're not playing the game anymore. And it's not really even a skill diff. It's just he picked this character into other character. It's rock, paper, scissors. And then Diva is just the other solution to, hey, look, they have Bastion, and then anything else but a Mei or a Sim, I play this now. They just buffed her. One of the only characters that has like no counters too, with the exception of Zarya, Sim, and Mei. Sim just got a nerf. No reason. In comparison. So that's kind of my stance on it. I think these changes were in the right direction, but they are not game saving. They're not. I don't even think they're going to be game impactful. At this point, basically I said earlier in my Discord, I wish they would just keep this change and just leave everything else the same. That way I don't have to learn the new numbers, like the new cooldowns. There's no point in it. They're so unimpactful to me. Like, just from the standpoint of, okay, there's not enough coordination in most ranked games that these 1-2 second changes are going to break. Just not. But have a good day, all. I hope you enjoyed my opinions on the amazing support balance saving update. But I'll see y'all later. Have a good one.